Hey, everybody, we are live. Let's see here, we are live. Sorry, everybody. We are live. This is a get to know the speakers segment. And we are waiting for Jonathan Rankin. He will be joining us here shortly. So I apologize for the technical difficulties. It is not on his side, it is on my side. So I apologize. Give me 1 second here, and we're going to get Jonathan up. This is looking really great, isn't it? High tech. But yeah, let me share my screen as well, so you know who we are talking to, who we are. Let's see. I'm gonna share that right there, so hopefully y'all can see that. We are going to be talking to Jonathan Rankin here very shortly, and while we're waiting for Jonathan to come on here, let me just tell you a little bit about Jonathan. So Jonathan is an actual not relative. He is a native to St. Louis. He is a prolific entrepreneur. The guy is amazing at everything he does. He's a dedicated husband and father, and he has strong leadership traits. He has a decisive nature, and he's basically been, he's had business success for over 15 years. And he has a keen insight on operational skills, and he has multiple businesses in various stages of development and growth. So Jonathan is partner for Core Properties, and they hold a rental portfolio, a real estate portfolio of over $15 million. And Jonathan is going to be speaking on building a rental portfolio at Gateway to Freedom here November 4th and 5th. We are closing ticket sales here in just a couple days. So let's see here. Give me 1 second here. Just want to make sure that Jonathan received my link, and I apologize, everybody. Going to invite him here in just a second again. Let's see. So we're going live here right now, 3 minutes in, and it's technical difficulties on my end. So thank you so much, everybody, for sticking out with us while we're waiting for Jonathan, who will be on very, very shortly. I just want to thank everybody who's joining me today. I want to also thank a few people, because we're getting close to it. It's less than 2 weeks away. Gateway to Freedom, November 4th and 5th in St. Louis. I don't know if I've made it clear enough, and I just want to make sure I do. For anybody that catches this and thinks they could just show up day of, we are not selling tickets at the door. We on a conference like this, if you haven't been to a conference like this, you have to give the hotel a number ahead of time so they can order food for like our lunches and snacks and things like that. So we cannot take folks at the door, unfortunately. So you do have to buy a ticket ahead of time. Right now we have a fantastic offer running. If you use any of the speakers' names as a coupon code at checkout, it's going to take $50 off of your ticket. So just use Jonathan, for example, when he comes on here. Use Jonathan if you like what he said, or you know Jonathan and you want to get your tickets. You want to use Jonathan as the coupon code at checkout. It'll take $50 off your ticket. So we do have a special promotion running for VIP as well. So if you're interested in that, just drop a message in the chat here during the live, and I'll get you the information offline, what that information is on the VIP tickets at this time. So those are we're almost sold out of those. So if you do want to get a VIP ticket, you probably want to go ahead and jump on and get that before we close the ticket sales and before VIP sells out, because that is a limited number of seats for VIP. So with that being said, Jonathan is going to be with us here in just a moment. And we're going to go through a conversation, just talking to Jonathan about who he is and his background and things like that. Things like we've done for all of our speaker segments. And I'm looking forward to it. Jonathan is a good guy, and I look forward to seeing Jonathan this Thursday night. I'll be attending his meetup here in St. Louis called Core. They have Core Properties has a monthly meetup in Brentwood at View 17. If you're interested, go to meetup.com and check out the Core meetup. It's going to be a good one this month, so go to that one, and I'm telling you, you will see some great folks there as well. You can probably even meet Jonathan. I know he'll be on here very shortly, but actually here he's coming on now. Awesome. Hey, Jonathan. Woo, man, sorry for all the technical difficulties. Can you hear me okay?
What's going on?
Not much. Can you hear me okay?
I got you. Can you hear me all right?
Sure can, buddy. Sure can. Thanks for meeting me, man.
Good.
Sorry about the. I thought I had everything ready to go. Cool, we're ahead of time. I text you ahead of time. You ready? Yeah. And then my computer decided A, not to recognize my camera, and B, that it just wanted to completely reboot on its own. So apologize for that. But thank you for joining me today, buddy. Appreciate you. So, I gave everybody a kind of a bio intro about you, but I know I can't do it any justice on what you can do. So why don't you tell everybody, being that this is a get to know the speaker segment, and you're going to be one of the speakers at Gateway to Freedom, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and who Jonathan Rankin is? Uh-oh, you went mute. So I could hear you before.
Better now?
There we go. There we go.
All right. Yeah, well, thanks for having me, and I'm excited about the conference. A little bit about myself and my past. I was an electrician for 14 years before I got into real estate. I worked in Columbia, Missouri, South Florida, and then back here in St. Louis, Missouri, doing residential, industrial, and commercial electric. To be honest, I thought that was going to be my path. I thought I would, start an electrical company, and that was going to be my way into entrepreneurship. And actually, when I moved back from Florida in 2009, I realized or thought it was a great time to get into real estate. 2009, the world's ending. Everyone told me that was a silly idea, but I was committed and found real estate. I ended up doing a rehab with my grandfather and my brother. It took 9 months. I made $9,000. It's probably the equivalent of, I don't know, $5 an hour or something, working evenings and weekends. But it was a great learning experience. I always say what I learned in that project was worth far more than what I actually made. That's kind of how I got to where I am now. Started as an electrician, got into rehabbing, and the rest is history.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. So what part was it? You said you wanted to get into real estate investing, and it was 2009, and the market wasn't the greatest then at all. But what made you come to the decision that real estate investing is what you wanted to do in your life?
Well, I kind of mentioned it was, I thought I'd be an electrician and own an electrical company. I knew that I always wanted to be paid for as hard as I was willing to work. Being in the trades, being younger, there was a point where, I'm working circles around folks that are making more than me. So it was always kind of seeking out or looking for something that would actually reward me for the work I was willing to put in. I think like a lot of people was watching those, Flip That House TV shows and stuff like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I know how to. My dad was a carpenter. I'm an electrician. Like, surely I could do that. So there wasn't a catalyst of, I want to get into real estate, and real estate is my vehicle. It was always really just searching for something to help me get to the next level, create some financial freedom. When I came back in 2009, my grandfather was like, John, now's not the time. Now is not the time to get in it. Maybe we'll make money, maybe we won't. But I was, again, just very driven and couldn't hear that it wouldn't work. So just kind of powered through.
Sure. Yeah, no, I know. Especially when you're young, you don't want to, I know I've been there. It's like, no, I got it. I know things.
Yeah. Brute force, at the time.
Right. Exactly. No, but I mean, and things happen for a reason, right? And you going through all that and doing what you did put you where you are today,
Absolutely.
And there's, it's easy to put together like a highlight reel, right? It's like, hey, let's see the highlight reel of Jonathan Rankin. And I'm going to ask you a question that's going to have two sides to it. But and first, I do want to talk about that highlight reel. Maybe the biggest highlight of your highlights is, what would you say if somebody, and I know it's kind of a spur of the moment thing. I didn't give you much time to think about this one at all. That's kind of the reason why I asked this question is, what would you say has been your proudest moment as a real estate investor?
Proudest moments. I would say, right or wrong, I struggle celebrating wins, right? So when I look at successes or things like that, I just kind of look at it as like, that's what I'm supposed to do, is work hard, and and the win is, kind of the results of what you're supposed to do. I would say one of the most rewarding things has come in the past handful of years as the team grows, and as we touch other folks in the community, watching people get it and understand, like, wow, this is a real thing. I can do this. We've had employees, that have employees that work for us and have worked for us in the past that have created multi-million-dollar portfolios. We have a handful of coaching students, that have done the same. So seeing folks get it and really like change their life, real estate's changed my family tree and the trajectory of, the Rankins, right? To some degree. So just seeing that happen with other people, see the light bulb go off and then get that. Probably one of the proudest moments when that happens. The news is it's happened more than once, continues to happen. So now I kind of just, how do I lean into that?
Right. No, I get you, man. I completely get that. I understand what you're saying about how hard it is to celebrate the wins. I do understand that. I can get that out of your personality too, big time. So here comes. But I bet this question, because I know your personality, I kind of feel like I have that hard time too, acknowledging when I have done something right. And like you said, that's just what you're supposed to do, right? I get it. But I bet this next question is going to be a lot easier for you to answer. Just because I bet you're probably the hardest person on yourself. But what would you say? Well, no. So on the flip side of that coin, right? So on the flip side of that coin, what would you say has been your biggest lesson learned as a real estate investor?
Gosh, probably biggest lesson learned and hardest to continue to remember is slowing down to go faster. I am get an idea, determine how to execute it, run as fast as I can immediately, personality, get things into motion and get things implemented. And, over the years I've learned, it goes against my nature, but I've learned to just slow down, think it through. There's a lot of ways to make money in the world and a lot of ways to make money in real estate. The question I ask myself these days is like, how much can it make? And like, sure, it can make money, but how much time does it take? And what's the opportunity cost, in doing this thing over something else? So I would say probably one of the bigger challenges for me ongoing is just slow down, John. Like, yes, that's an idea. And is it that idea that we want to execute today? Maybe it's just putting it, in the calendar for a year out or 2 quarters away. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's, just, because along the way, like I said, it's easy to show the highlight reels. You can show everybody's successes, but it's the struggles. It's those lessons we learn along the way that it's sometimes it makes us vulnerable, right? It puts us in a vulnerable state to say, hey, look, I haven't been perfect. I've made mistakes, right? There's some lessons I've had to learn. And that's great when you can do that and you can be open and honest with people and tell them, look, there's some things you need to learn. And one is, that whole slow down. And I get it, man. But there's a difference there, right? It's not some people might say, well, hey, Jonathan said I should slow down, so I really need to take 20 years to analyze this deal.
I know that, yeah.
Yeah, right. You didn't say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I get it, man. Okay, so we're going to be closing down ticket sales here in a couple days, probably. So we can get our final numbers over to the hotel and tell them how many people are coming and all that stuff. But there might be people on the fence, right? People on the fence that say, I don't know if they're either brand new and they're intimidated, like, oh man, I shouldn't go to a conference like that. Or they've been in the business 30 years and they, oh man, either A, I know everything, or B, it's not going to help me at all. what do you think is like the biggest benefit or top reason for attending a conference like this?
I've always been an advocate of paying for speed, and still am. I want to get there faster. I want people to help me, miss some of the challenges that I don't even know are there. Help me see what I don't know. And from the very beginning, we've done that. Rob and I as partners, and even individually, it's important. The continued education, a different mindset. I would say if you're just getting started, you're not, you want to see what real estate can do for you. You definitely want to show up. It'd be like drinking from a fire hose, right? If you're going to take in all this information and so many questions get answered out of the gate. So I said that was a big benefit for me early on. Even now, still, and even later as the career went on, even if you think you got it figured out, that's usually when you get some of the best nuggets, right? I had a mentor tell me once, he's like, the guys in the room that really have it going on and really know what's going on are sometimes the ones that get the most, right? Out of some of the most simple tactics, or maybe they've heard something before and they just hear it different because they're at a different phase of their career. So yeah, paying for speed. Everyone, if you're like me, you want to get there faster. So I would say, buy the ticket and get there faster. Let's go.
Heck yeah, man, let's go. You're right. Absolutely. And yeah, and shoot, and the tickets are dang affordable as can be. But yeah, so one last question for you, and I know you're a busy guy, and I appreciate your time today. But being that this is a get to know the speaker segment, let's get to know Jonathan a little bit more personally. What would you say is your biggest passion outside of real estate investing?
My daughter. Hanging with my daughter. I mean, like, hands down. Daughter, wife, family. Creating moments with them, right? My friend Kent, says it all the time to me. He's like, John, you don't need to collect trinkets. I'm done collecting that shit. What we got to collect is moments and memories with the people that we care about the most. So I would say that's what I'm passionate about.
Man, that is awesome, man. That just touched me, man. That's seriously cool. That is so awesome.
Thank you.
Oh man, that's all. Yeah, it is. I can't. I'm gonna keep it right there. But let's thanks, Jonathan. I tell you what, I'm looking. I was just mentioning before you got on. I was like, really looking forward to seeing you on Thursday because I like coming to your meetups. Tell everybody where they can see you this week.
Yeah, appreciate that. So we're going to be at View 17 on Thursday, 6 to 9. We've got a friend of mine, Fawad Bazi, coming in from Detroit, Michigan. He's a member of Boardroom with Rob and I. And he's going to talk about, come up with a plan to leave your W-2 job, right? It doesn't have to happen tomorrow or in 2 quarters like we talked about, but you need a plan. I know I had one whenever, I decided to consider, should I leave this solid job and try this other thing? And there was a plan. There was I need this much money in the bank, and then I'm going to do this. And so he's going to talk about the plan, and super excited. He's a super cool guy. He left his job a couple of years ago. He's in luxury vacation rentals. So come out, learn from Fawad, have a drink, have some food, and let's talk real estate.
Absolutely. Can people register? Where can they register?
If you go to meetup.com and you check out Core Properties RIA, you'll see us there, and you can RSVP.
Awesome.
No charge. Come on with it.
That's the best part right there, folks. It doesn't get better than that.
I'll give you a coupon code, Rich, so you can help everybody get a free ticket,
Exactly. All right. Yeah. So if you want to get $50 off your ticket right now, but go out, buy a ticket, www.g2free.com, put in coupon code Jonathan, just Jonathan, and it's $50 off your ticket. And I do have a special on VIP tickets right now. So if you want to reach out to me on Facebook or one of these social medias, I can give you a special coupon for our VIP package. But get out there, get your ticket today. We are going to be closing down tickets here in just a couple of days. This is the 23rd. So just a couple of days when we're closing down ticket sales for the live event. Jonathan, I look forward to seeing you later this week, buddy. I'm so stoked about this conference, and I'm so glad you're a part of it. Thank you so much.
It. Thanks for letting me be a part of it, Rich. Always a pleasure.
Absolutely. I'll talk to you soon.
Sounds good. See you, brother.
Okay, bye.